by the time they're taken to the mill, it's a bit like 5 and below.
Okay.
So that's a big journey. So one of the innovative ways to embrace the technology from the research institutions, currently I'm aware of the AfraSafe that's being developed by the CARO and plus other research institutions. So part of it is, I'll talk about the AfraSafe aspect here. Yeah.
Ogada, the conversation when it comes to insurance in the agricultural sector, especially from the farmers that are counting losses following these devastations by floods, should the ministry consider compensation? Because the last conversation the Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Mithika Linturi was having before the floor of the House was talking about that the ministry is unable to cover when it comes to floods, but when it comes to droughts they're able to cover them because there's insurance in place. So this time around, should farmers be educated on that so that when devastations such as we have witnessed in the country happen, at least they are covered?
It depends with the, it should be good for them to be compensated when their farming got affected by the flood or something. But you know, my brother, the farmers that we have are poor. We don't have rich farmers who can, again, go for insurance to cover them when it comes to this. This should be the government thing. The government should cover all our farmers. In a way, if there's problem, we don't need to go back to the government to cry for food and other things, because the paying insurance is much better in a comprehensive way of helping the disaster if any may occur. And we know, most of the time we have been going through all this disaster. But I don't want to talk more about the government because I don't know where the money is. Because in developed countries, all the farmers are being covered. Reason, even after they do their farming, they supply, they get paid. But in our country, somehow, the same farmers are crying they have not been paid. With the millers or with the government, since the government buy off from, you know, so it is something that it needs a lot detailed discussion. I think from the parliament, not even outside here. Because here we talk, but somehow it will not help. But they should be covered by the insurance. So in case of any disaster, we still have something in our account to help even to import food from other regions which were not affected. I don't know how to talk about agriculture. The way I stated, it is not 1 year ago when the fertilizer was fake. And this fertilizer, the government is paying for it to reduce the price so the farmers can get something to use during their plantation. Then the government paid, then the farmers got something which is fake. I don't know how we are going to build our trust with these institutions as Kenyans. My cry to our country, even if there are some people who are corrupt, we should reduce this corruption level because we are killing our own children. By the time we go back to our farming and we've been given fake fertilizer, which is having a lot of chemicals, or they sold us sand, what level are we improving our agricultural sector? We are not improving nothing. We are still running back to the poverty. And when something occurs like what occurred last time, then we have money to reach out to the people, to make sure that we bring them out. Where is this money when we want it to cover for our farmers and our agricultural sector? If you go back to the offices, all the external officers are just sitting. They don't even report to work. If they report 2 days a week. Because you know, I'm working in the ground and I'm supporting. You will find nobody, even if you go, if you forget about this other crop, but you go back to dairy farming. Many cows are dying because there's no agricultural officer who is coming. If you don't have money, you cannot call an extension officer and come with medicine to treat your cow. So it is something that we need to have a wide discussion with the Minister of Agriculture. We need to talk with the county government. We have to find where did we went wrong when it comes to the management of funds in our country. Where did we went wrong when to think of putting our country to a situation that we have enough food, whether we have a disaster. You know, this now rain disaster. We may have drought disaster. How are we going to manage drought disaster if by the time we had rain, we did not been given equipment? If we are talking about agriculture, we need to find a way like before, where we can send tractors from the government to help our farmers to plow their farms. And then we give them fertilizer. So even if you are supporting, if we are sending this to the millers, and we get paid, they deduct what they gave us.
Okay.
So that we can strengthen the economy. Because the economy cannot be strong when there is no food in the country. The economy cannot be strong when the health is falling apart. The economy cannot be strong when there's no education in this country. Recently I heard, I don't want to discuss about it so much or dwell, that now we are withdrawing the feeding program in our schools.
They are considering it.
They are considering it. I think they are thinking of something. Yeah. It is just last year when we withdrawn the aid welfare for the same students in school. They are not getting treated, and now somehow they will not get food. How will these children go to class and learn when there is no food and there is no health?
Okay.
It's a country where we are talking about nutrition and we actually support it. But the doctors and the nurses and the recently even the lab technicians were on strike.
Okay.
How are we going to deal with the people who are now affected already are in the hospital? Now the family plan, not the family planning, the immunization of the children. The private sector which has been supporting this, the donors withdrawn. So this thing is, when we talk about this, it's not something simple.
Okay.
So we need our parliament, because they are the people who are dealing with the law, to do something for the people, because we are ready to work close with the government. We are ready to pay the taxes. But where is this money going?
Okay.
Let me bring to your attention when we are dealing with this climate change issue.
Okay.
Our country tried to plant trees so that we can control what, I don't know. But you'll find a tree is 10 shillings. But you're going to plant a tree with chopper. How much did we use to fuel the chopper to go and plant a tree? And we are talking about disaster management.
Okay.
So there are things that we need to dig deep, and I hope next time when we have a discussion, we need some people from the same government and from the parliament, so we can ask them this question openly, for us to know, are we heading in the right direction when it comes to agriculture, which actually is the stability of this country, or are we going left? The person who was dealing with agriculture, 1 minute, because I know, let me touch this, is not in jail, is not arrested. But somebody who stole or who steal banana is in police custody or in court.
Okay.
But we want to stabilize our agriculture. So I don't know. I am afraid to talk about it. Yeah.
Okay. For corruption, you've just raised that matter. But in terms of the school program that you've just touched on, yesterday, as I told you, the Education Principal Secretary, that is Dr. Bello Kipsang, spoke about this issue in the FDP 2024 annual meeting that is happening at KICC. He stated that the most important investment anyone can make